Much like King George VI, Unihertz may not have wanted the mantle of being the world's premier physical keyboard company in 2022, but they have to deal with it just the same. I don't know, you could read Wikipedia or something like that, or go on Netflix and watch The Crown for an hour. You'll understand the reference. But either way, Unihertz this week with the Titan Slim have come out with an update, a software, an Android security patch update for the Titan Slim. It is now running, as you can see here, Android 11, the August 5th security patch, which is significant for Unihertz for a couple of different reasons. Number one, you usually don't get updates on Unihertz devices, certainly not on a monthly basis, but in my experience in the past, it's been kind of a yearly thing. When they come out with the next phone, then if they have a software update that kind of matches up, then they'll release it for the old phone. That's what they did on the Titan Pocket. That's when we got updates on it, when the Titan Slim started to be a thing. So we're used to that. Now, if they're able to go, this was 2 months after launch, if they're able to get to a situation where they can update once every quarter, once every 3 months. No one's going to expect monthly updates from them. They don't have the staff for it. They don't have the budget for it. It's a relatively boutique Android phone maker, and they have a lot of different models that they have to service. So no one's expecting a security patch on a monthly basis. But, if we could get to quarterly, perhaps it might start to lure some of the people who are a bit hesitant about the Unihertz Titan Slim away from some of the other devices, or thinking about some of the other devices that they've tabbed to replace their Blackberries. The security thing on BB10 and having a operating system that took security as seriously as BlackBerry did was one of the core elements of enjoying those BlackBerry devices from back in the day. And one of the complaints, and not really complaints, but the hesitations that I've seen from people about switching to a Unihertz device is that, yeah, they like the keyboard, yeah, they like the idea of still having a physical keyboard in 2022, but it doesn't quite have the security as those old BlackBerry devices. And that might be true, and that still is going to be true, even if they update quarterly. But, getting that vote of confidence from Unihertz, getting that effort from Unihertz, getting something that says, hey, we understand these devices are still here, we're going to support you, we understand that community is still alive and well, is a huge deal. With that, I expect them to release more keyboard devices in the future. I expect different form factors, maybe become newer models and refreshed models of the ones that they already have, maybe another Titan Pocket device. But if they can kind of give us that nod, that we understand we're the only game in town, that we understand there's an entire community relying on us, I think they could add something to the experience. And we've said this before about Unihertz. They could have easily just given us the bare minimum. They very easily could have just given us that one update that released with the device and not given us the kind of features like the scroll assistant and the capacitive touch keyboard and a nice typing experience. They could have not done all those things. They could have done the very basic amount of work on this device, put the worst possible keyboard they can in the cheapest thing they could make, then release it and say, you know what? Tough. You don't have anywhere else to go. You want a physical keyboard in 2022? Here it is. Don't like it? Go use your 9-year-old Priv. They could have done that, but they didn't. They took the responsibility seriously. This is still a very nice typing experience. I like these keys. If they could put these key switches from now on their future devices for Unihertz, you're going to have something there. It's going to be a nice experience. It still runs Android 11, but let me tell you something. If they could keep Android 11 this smooth on a relatively budget chipset, that's pretty good. It's fairly well optimized. It's one of the nicer Android 11 experiences. Super smooth. I don't have any issue with it. Everything you want to do, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, BlackBerry. You know, you're going to have your BlackBerry inbox. You're going to be able to pounding away emails back and forth on this Reddit. You know, it's not a very intensive experience when you talk about a physical keyboard device, and people who are fans of these devices, fans of physical keyboard devices, don't really require a demanding experience. They're not running Call of Duty Mobile. I mean, you may play a game here and there, but you understand what you're getting when you buy a device like this. It's going to be used for stuff like Twitter. It's going to be mostly email-based. And that's something that you're going to get. And it's going to be a fantastic experience. And I love, listen, Twitter's, don't base it off of this. Twitter's laggy on every Android platform. But it is an overall nice experience. It really is. I've had no problems with it. And I must say this now. Unihertz, I've had nothing but luck with their quality control. I've had nothing but luck with their build quality. I've not had devices fall apart on me. I've not had devices break on me. I've not had the space bar debacle that the Key 2 had back in the day with BlackBerry, or TCL making those devices, rather. I didn't have, it's an overall solid experience from front to back. And they hold up. My Titan Pocket is still in phenomenal shape. Like I just got it. And understand it's a more rugged device. It had been banged around a few times, been in pockets, been in bags, no worse for wear. So the build quality's there. It's kind of creeping up to that BlackBerry build quality level and reputation for longevity. If they could throw us that bone on the software side, then we might have something here. There might be something really enjoyable about these Unihertz devices, and perhaps we could keep some of that magic open that we've had with physical keyboard devices in the past. And I understand a lot of people have moved on because those people who said that security was the most important thing to them, they moved on to Apple. They moved on to the Pixel 6 because of the M2 Titan chip or whatever they got in those Pixel devices that kind of lends that extra security to it. And I understand that. In fact, when we were looking at BlackBerry replacements, those are ones that I recommended for the security because I knew that Apple and Google take that seriously as they can take it. You know, as seriously as it's always going to be as good as you trust Apple and Google, which I know a lot of people don't, but that's what we have to work with. And they do try to take security seriously because they try to make it a selling point now. They try to make privacy a selling point. But if we can get just a little bit of that, a taste of that over here on the Unihertz devices, every 3 months, just throw us that security patch. Fix those vulnerabilities. You might lure just those few extra people that hesitated and went to other devices because they were on BlackBerry, not only for the physical keyboard experience, not only for the experience that BB10 provided on these devices, but because of that security as well. And if we can get it to a point where we make them sleep a little easier at night, it helps everybody. The more of these devices they sell, the more they're going to make, the more models they're going to experiment with. Perhaps we can get that Priv 2. We can get a slider device. Perhaps we can get a Passport-like device, like the original Titan, but a little slimmer. Perhaps we could get another classic-looking device like the Pocket. All possibilities down the line. But I love seeing that Unihertz keeps this in mind, updates the device, and gives us that little bit of hope. And they made a big deal out of it. They released it on their Twitter. It wasn't like a silent update. They said, hey, we're updating this device. And if they make that a selling point, if they make security updates and overall software support a selling point going forward, you might have something here. We might not have needed onward mobility to keep hope alive. We might not have needed a BlackBerry licensing agreement to keep physical keyboard phones in our thoughts. And we keep dreaming of these new devices coming out every year that have physical keyboards. So if you're a physical keyboard fan, if you're part of that community, I said it was a good week for us, and I meant it. Because Unihertz is here, it seems like they're here to stay, and it seems like they're taking the software on these devices seriously. And that can only be something that's good for all of us. They updated the battery icon as well. A little easier to read now. We'll go ahead and see if we can focus in on that. A little bit bigger numerals in there, so you can see how much battery you have. And security updates and just basic overall performance stuff. But running really well. Always did. Always liked their Android 11 distribution. Ran really well on the Pocket. Runs really well here on the Titan Slim here in 2022. Link will be in the description. $329, still for sale. If you're a fan and you're not somebody willing to go to Apple or Google or any of those other replacements because you just want a keyboard, maybe you're holding on to that Key 2 LE. You know, you got duct tape on it. Maybe you're one of the last 4 people on AT&T on a Priv, and the battery life is about 30 seconds. This might be something that you're willing to consider. If you've made it this far, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Until next time, have that Steve-licious day.